I'm not going to sit here and tell you that eating fast food and junk food is good for you, or that it's healthy, or that it's all just about calories in versus calories out. Because as someone who's been a personal trainer, a coach, and most importantly in this context, a nutritionist for over 5 years and having helped well over 150 people to lose weight, burn fat, build muscle, take back control of their health and get in the best shape of their life, that would not only be morally bankrupt and completely irresponsible of me, but it would also be factually incorrect. However, saying all of that, I am human. And just like you, I love the odd fast food treat. And the good news is that you don't need to eliminate fast food from your diet altogether, as long as you're going to the right places. That's why today I'm revealing the 7 healthiest spots, both in the US and in the UK, so that you can enjoy delicious fast food guilt-free, without breaking the bank, and while still making progress towards your goals. Number 1 and number 2 on my list are probably my favorites, and that is Tortilla in the UK and Chipotle in the US. According to their website, Tortilla has around 50 locations in the UK, while Chipotle boasts over 3,000 locations in the US. And why do they make the list? Well, first and foremost, customization. Both places let you build your meal exactly how you want. And that means you have complete control over the ingredients that go into your food and ultimately your body. Secondly, they both focus on fresh, whole foods, lean proteins like chicken or tofu, healthy fats like guacamole, and of course, plenty of veggies. So what should you order? Well, looking at the menu here, at Tortilla, I would go for a naked burrito with grilled chicken, black beans, brown rice, and plenty of veggies. Whereas if you're going to Chipotle in the US, and typically these US chains tend to have higher calories in almost all of their meals, I would probably go for the salad bowl with tofu, brown rice, black beans, and all the salsa that you can have. Just make sure that if you want to keep it low calorie, you're going to skip the sour cream and the cheese to keep it a little bit lighter. Number 2 on my list, and if you're from the UK, you will know that this was going to make the list, is Nando's. Now, I have to be honest, it was a little bit difficult to find a direct US-based alternative to Nando's. For whatever reason, Nando's hasn't broken into the mainstream in the US yet. However, the best or closest alternative that I could find was El Pollo Loco. Sorry if I've got the translation, or not the translation, the pronunciation wrong. But Nando's has over 450 locations in the US. Pretty much every town and city, even if not some villages, now have a Nando's because it is just that banging, let's be honest. Whereas El Pollo Loco only has 500 locations. Now I say only 500 because obviously in the US it's, I don't even know, like 350 million times bigger than the UK, right? So proportionally it's not as many. But why are these guys on the list? Well, first, because they're both very well known for their flame grilled chicken. And that's very important because the way they're cooking it, flame grilling it rather than frying it, makes it far healthier. Secondly, they both offer a wide variety of healthy sides. Both of them have salads, corn on the cob, steamed veggies, the list goes on. And as a result of all of that, it makes it much easier to build a low-calorie, filling, balanced meal. So what are the healthiest orders? What is the absolute go-to? Well, at Nando's, I will always go for half chicken. Medium is my heat. I'm not particularly tough when it comes to spice. And I will go for either a side of macho peas or steamed broccoli and some rice. The real key at Nando's lies in the sides, because some of them, like the piri piri chips, whilst they are absolutely incredible, I'm pretty sure the large is 1,000 calories, maybe even more. Whereas at El Pollo Loco, which I have to admit I've never been to personally, but looking at the menu, I would go for the chicken avocado taco. It's packed with lean proteins and fresh ingredients. Number 3 is only a UK-based one, and that is Itsu. If there is a US-based direct alternative to Itsu, and obviously if you're in the US, you might not have heard of Itsu, but by me explaining it, you might be able to tell me one. Please leave it in the comments. Let me know what the best order is there, because I genuinely could not find one. So Itsu, like I say, it's a UK only chain and they have about 80 locations. So it's not what I would say completely nationwide, but you will find certainly several in London, pretty much every major city and a lot of big towns. And Itsu specializes in sushi, salads, and Asian inspired dishes that are low in calories and high in nutrients. And that's the key bit there. So why is Itsu on the list? Well, firstly, it's because of their focus on low-calorie meals that makes it much easier to stay within your calorie allowance. But secondly, and probably best on this list, is because of the nutrient density of the meals that are on offer. What I mean by that is that you're going to get a great bang for your buck in terms of the vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that are in the vast majority of the meals on offer here. Now, being really honest, you can't really go wrong in Itsu, but if I was going to go for the super healthy choice, I would go for the Health and Happiness sushi box, which includes a mix of salmon, tuna, and veggie sushi. Or you could go for the chicken and spring onion geyzo. Is it geyzo or gozo or gizo? Who knows? With a side of miso soup. As I said, there are so many good choices on the Itsu menu. It's a little bit more expensive than your Nando's or anything like that. But if health is your priority, which I'm sure it is if you're watching a video like this, then I would say it is worth the investment. And I say investment because you are investing in yourself and in your health. And ultimately, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Bringing up the rear, number 6 and number 7 on the list is Leon in the UK and Panera Bread in the US, which I have to admit, I had never heard of. But I'm quite surprised that I've never heard of Panera Bread because according to their website, they have over 2,000 locations in the US, whereas Leon apparently have 70 locations in the UK. So why do both of these guys make the cut? Well, what I like about both of them, first and foremost, Leon and Panera Bread both focus on real food made from whole, fresh ingredients. But secondly, just looking at their menu, it's the variety of options. We've got soups, we've got salads, we've got whole grain sandwiches. It makes it easy to find something that really fits your daily goals. So healthy orders. Okay, so at Leon, personally, I would go for the Moroccan meatball hot box. I mean, that sounds amazing. By the way, I'm making this video just before lunch, which was probably a terrible idea because now I want to order all of these things. Thankfully, even though I'm from the UK, I'm based in Spain and I can't even get any of this. But that includes some brown rice, some veggies, and lean turkey meatballs, which just sound amazing. Whereas at Panera Bread, I would personally go for the Mediterranean veggie sandwich on whole grain with a side of 10 vegetable soup. Now, I appreciate I am not normally one to go for the vegetarian option, but actually just looking at it and reading about it, it sounds pretty good. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Why is a nutritionist promoting fast food and junk food? Well, listen, I have to admit, when I first started in this industry over 5 years ago now, I was one of those people who would say it's all about calories in versus calories out. But as you work with more and more people in the real world, and as you get older yourself, as I obviously am, well, everybody gets older themselves, but I'm now 36, going on 37, you really appreciate that quality of calories counts just as much as the quantity of calories. I actually challenge a lot of my clients now to try and cut out junk food, fast food, and processed food for 14 days to see how they feel, more so than how much body fat they're going to lose, because in that time, you're not necessarily going to lose that much fat. When it comes to losing body fat, the quantity of the calories is going to count more than the quality. But the quality of your calories is going to count more when it comes to how you feel, your mental health, your inflammation in your gut, and all sorts of other things. But here's the thing. Not all fast food and junk food is created equally. The chains we've talked about today are taking a different approach because they're focusing on fresh, whole ingredients. And they're offering plenty of options that align with a healthier lifestyle. But let's address the elephant in the room. Some people, me included, might argue that some of these fast food chains are jumping on the health bandwagon to make sure that their sales and ultimately their profit doesn't suffer. In other words, is it a little bit of a marketing tactic to change their brand image and reputation? Is that true? Well, maybe for some, but when you look at some of the ones that I've taken you through today, particularly Leon, Panera Bread, and Itsu, you can see a genuine commitment to quality ingredients and transparency. Now, what will be really interesting to see is whether these brands are able to stick to their values, stick to their commitment and their transparency to be genuinely healthy as they expand more nationwide and even international, because it becomes almost impossible to do cost efficiently without cutting corners. And what I'm talking about there when I say cutting corners is that ultimately when you scale to this level, when you're producing food at a mass quantity on the levels of McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Pizza Hut, Domino's, those kind of guys where it's complete international, global dominance, It's almost impossible to do cost efficiently without reducing the quality of the calories and the food that you and I are eating from these places. And even though we might not care about the cost efficiency, we might be willing to pay an extra $1 or $2 or £1 or £2 to have better ingredients. These guys' values, because they're massive corporations with board of directors and shareholders and profits and targets and all this sort of stuff, they ultimately will always be driven by their bottom line and trying to increase their sales, their profitability. But these guys, the Leons, the Panera Breads, the Itsus, and even the Nando's to an extent, and all the others that we talked about today, they're not just slapping a healthy label. They're actually, well, at least for now, delivering on what they say. So yeah, while I'll never say that fast food is healthy because of the way it's produced, you do have to take in mind that not all fast food is created equal. And listen, it's always going to be healthier to cook your own chicken or make your own sushi. That's why Nando's sell their sauce in supermarkets. But let's be honest, it never tastes the same. And not only that, as I said, we're all human beings. And while we might be focusing on what we eat and our diet and our nutrition, not everybody is on the same path, or even if they are, they're not necessarily on the same path at the same time. And so unless you want to become a complete social hermit, which I would never encourage anybody to be, you are going to want to go out, have fun, and share meals with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your children, whoever else it might be. The good news is that now you've watched this video, not only do you know some of the healthiest places to go, but you also know some of the healthier things to order. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, but more importantly, I hope you found it useful. If you have, I would greatly appreciate your support. So if you could smash the thumbs up button to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. And like I said, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on all these ones that we've been through today, what your favorite order is from any of these places, or if you think I've missed one. I'm more than happy to admit that I've missed one and I've got something wrong. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.